Good morning, friends. Today we are going to discuss about the minimum support price, which is again from past 3 years because of the union government reforms in the agriculture sector, which aims to liberalization of agricultural sector with the help of 3 farm bills. And moreover, as the farmers are fighting even today for the legalization of MSP, so they want, MSP should be legalized. And in that case, so we'll try to discuss what is MSP, what is the history of MSP, why minimum support price is required for the farmers. If the government did not provide the minimum support prices, what will happen? Is it minimum support price is legalized, should be legalized or not? So in that context, we try to discuss what is MSP. Minimum support price, it's a price provided by the government to the farmers, for their agricultural produce. As if you require the technical definition, MSP is commonly known as the way of protecting the farmers. Yes, it try to protect the farmers. So because most of the time the farmers, they try to sell their agricultural produce at throwaway prices to the middleman, APMC, Mandi mein. So as to protect the farmers from those people, so the government announces what? MSP. So as we know that agriculture in India, there is a lot of uncertainty, and as the farmers, they don't know how much produce they will get to their hands. So because of that, so the government announces what? MSP, as it acts as a safety net. It is act as a safety net because even though in the open market, if they are getting the less price, they can sell it to government, and the government will assure a minimum price for farmers' produce, which is called as what? MSP. So, sir, when this MSP was started? When this MSP was started, and what was the idea of what? Giving the MSP? For how many commodities they will provide the MSP? Sir, during the Green Revolution period, that is in 1966 and 67, the government has come up with what? MSP. 1966, 66 and 67, the central government, they introduced a concept called MSP. So it was just 54 rupees per quintal. The MSP for wheat was fixed for the first time. And of course, if you take now, so almost rice ke liye, so 2060 rupees, that is 2060 rupees per quintal. So almost the price of what MSP has increased continuously from 1966 to till now. So on the part of Green Revolution, they have announced the MSP. So sir, who will announce the MSP? Sir, we have a department called CACP, Commission for Agricultural Cost and Price, which comes under Ministry of Agriculture. As you see here, there is a organization or the department called CACP, Commission for Agricultural Cost and Price, which comes under Ministry of Agriculture. They decide the MSP. Remember, decide. Here, there are confusion for the student. One, what is this deciding or recommending, and like announcing? So CACP is not an announcing body. They will just decide the MSP based on some factors, mainly important factors like what? Cost of production, mainly. There are other factors like what? Demand, supply, market price trend, price fluctuation, all this they consider. But one of the important factor is what? Cost of production. And to decide the cost of production, CACP uses 3 formula. They uses 3 formula like A2 plus FL and C2. What is this 3 formula? A2. A2 is the general expenditure incurred by the farmer. General expenditure like what? For buying the seeds, for buying the fertilizers, spending money on irrigation, spending money on what? Electricity, machinery, hired labor. Assume that if the farmer is paying the money to labor, all this will be considered as production cost in A2. In A2 plus FL, what is A2 plus FL? FL means family labor. If the farmers are taking the help of their family members while doing the agriculture, even that cost is also considered as a production cost along with A2. So that is what A2 plus FL. But this C2, sir, it's a new concept. New does not mean that day before yesterday or yesterday they have introduced this. So this is the concept which was recommended by the National Commission on Farmers in 2006. There was a commission called National Commission on Farmers headed by M.S. Swaminathan, as recommended to use a new formula called C2 instead of A2 and A2 plus FL. What is this C2? C2 is a comprehensive cost. What is the meaning of comprehensive? Along with A2 plus FL, use comprehensive. Comprehensive means the value of the land. If the farmer, rather than doing the agriculture, if he sell the land, if he sell the land and if he make the money, and if the same money if he deposited in the bank account, he would have earned what? Interest. That amount should be considered as what? Production cost, and that formula is called as C2. So there is a huge demand from the farming community since 2006 after MS Swaminathan Commission report. There was a use of what? C2 as a formula to check the production cost. But remember, government did not take into consideration of farmers' demand, but in 2018, government has said that we will change the production methodology, or I can say production cost methodology from A2, because they were considering till 2018 they were considering A2 methodology. In 2018, when they said that they are going to change the methodology, every farmer or every the people who are supporting the farming community, they thought that government may use the C2 formula while deciding the MSP, but even today they are considering A2 plus FL, not C2. Why, sir? See, remember, CACP will give the recommendation based on all the three factors, A2, A2 plus FL and C2. But who will announce? That is the biggest question here. CACP will just recommending body, and the announcing body, there is a Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs headed by Prime Minister. This Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs headed by Prime Minister announces the MSP based on the data given by what? CACP. CACP will give the production cost of A2, A2 plus FL and C2, and government is considering A2 plus FL formula as a deciding factor for production cost. But in 2018 the government has said that we will make one change. What is that? We will change the cost of production formula from A2 to A2 plus FL. They have changed. Plus they also agreed that we will announce the MSP as production cost plus 50%, which means if the production cost is 100 rupees with respect to whatever the formula, A2 or A2 plus FL or C2, assume that in A2 production cost is 100, in A2 plus FL if the production cost is 200, in C2 if the production cost is 300. Now assume that government is considering A2 plus FL formula as a production cost. So government will announce the MSP as 200 plus 50%, which means 100 rupees. So totally they will announce 300 rupees as a MSP. That is what the changes they made in 2018. So this is how the government decide on the MSP. That's what I told you, that they calculate with the help of formulas like what? So CACP will take the consideration of what? A2, A2 plus FL and C2. Now, sir, how many commodities comes under MSP system today? As of now, 22 commodities will comes under MSP system. Remember, regularly if you go to CACP website, it says that 22 plus 1 commodities comes under the system, MSP system. But remember, only 22 comes under MSP, and one that commodity called sugarcane will comes under. Within MSP we have a system called FRP, fair and remunerative price or fixed remunerative price. They use both the terminology, either sometimes they use as fair and remunerative price and fixed remunerative price. Sir, why sugarcane is separate? Why they will not consider as 23? Why they say 22 plus 1? As we know that government announced the MSP for sugarcane, government will not procure the sugarcane from the farmers. Instead of that, from the farmers, like sugar industries will procure the sugarcane. So as they procure the sugarcane from the farmers, government insists that sugar industry should provide the minimum support price to farmers, which is called as FRP, fair remunerative price. But remaining 22 commodities will comes under what? Government only. These are the commodities, sir. So there are some cereals like paddy, wheat, maize and all this, pulses, oilseeds, and some commercial crops like copra, jute, cotton, sugarcane. All this will comes under MSP system. Now, sir, government announced the MSP, but who will procure it? Sir, when the government announced the MSP, is it government only will go for procuring? No, sir. We have some procurement agencies like Food Corporation of India, Cotton Corporation of India, Jute Corporation of India, NAFED, NCDC. Like this, there are many central and state government agencies. They are responsible for procurement of food grains at a rate called what? MSP. Now, why central government will procure the food grains under MSP? The same food grains what the central government agencies are procuring will be distributed to needy people, or mainly BPL and APL families, through a system called what? PDS, Public Distribution System. That is the reason why they will procure, sir. Why central government will procure from the farmers? This is the reason, so that they can give it to needy people, through a system called PDS under ration shops. So through ration shops they will go for distributing the food grains, so which is called as what? The overall system is called as PDS. That is the first one. When I say that they will go for giving the food grains to all the people, now the question is, sir, which people are eligible to receive the food grains? On what basis they will distribute the food grains? See, in 2013, Government of India has introduced an act called National Food Security Act 2013. Under National Food Security Act 2013, around 67% of the people of India, 67%, they are eligible to receive the food grains. So when I say around 67% of the people are responsible to receive the food grains, approximately 75% of the rural people and 50% of the urban people are eligible to receive the food grains. Sir, how much they receive? Basically in India, sir, you will find these are the categories of people. One is Antyodaya Anna Yojana, which means what? Poorest of poor people will come under Antyodaya Anna Yojana. Regular BPL families and regular APL families. These are the people who are responsible to receive food grains. They are responsible to receive what? Food grains. Sir, is this food grains will be given based on household or based on per person? For Antyodaya Anna Yojana card holders, there is a separate card called Antyodaya Anna Yojana. For Antyodaya Anna Yojana card holders will receive 35 kgs of food grains every month, irrespective of number of, the members in the family. But for BPL and APL, they'll give the food grains based on per person. Every person in the family will receive 5 kg per person, sir. That is what BPL and APL. And for BPL, the cost of the food grains will be almost zero. Central government will give to state government at 0 rupee. For APL at subsidized rate they will give, sir. Now, sir, when I say that, sir, how the procurement will be done? So there are various agencies, as I told you, FCI, Jute Corporation, Cotton Corporation, NAFED, they'll procure from the farmers. In every district headquarters they have, almost throughout India, in every district headquarters, FCI is having their own godown facility or procurement centers. Farmers will get their produce to these procurement centers. From these procurement centers, whatever the food grains is procured from these procurement centers, the same food grains will be distributed to state government, and state government through ration shops they will distribute it to needy people, and that whole system is called as PDS, sir. Sir, but even though PDS is a very good, one of the world's largest food distribution program is our PDS, but it is having a lot of lacunae, lot of challenges, lot of problems. Like problems like what? Sir, even today, there are many, the fake beneficiaries are getting the benefit. So the BPL card and APL card which are issued by the state government, sir, rather than issuing to the targeted beneficiaries, sir, they are issued to general, sir, which means what? They are issued to everyone. So, sir, that should be reduced. That is why recently from past 3 to 4 years, all the state governments are linking the BPL card with what? Aadhaar. As we know that Aadhaar is already linked to what? PAN number. So it is easy, because if a person is paying the income tax in a family, if any member is paying the income tax, sir, we can eliminate that particular person, with the help of linking Aadhaar with what? Aadhaar with BPL card. That is the first step they are taking in terms of what? Identification of the beneficiary. Second step, in most of the ration shop they have introduced biometric machines. As Aadhaar is linked to BPL card, so a person, if he wants to get the food grains, he has to give his thumb impression. With the help of thumb impression, we'll come to know that he is a genuine beneficiary or not. That is the first one. Second one is, as I told you, GOST card. GOST means what? So many government officials are also having the BPL card. Third, production and procurement. As we know that, see, we are promoting the farmers to produce more via MSP, government only procure and government only distribute. But the problem is, sir, most of the time, the required quantity of whatever the PDS family require, the same quantity of food grains are not available, which means production is not taking place. And so that because of that, even the procurement agencies are unable to procure properly. And fourth one is what? Allocation and offtake of food grains. See, while allocating, so state-wise you have to allocate the food grains. But most of the time, see, some states require more food grains, some states require less compared to other states. But this allocation is creating a problem because procurement will be done in West Bengal, but it has to be delivered in Tamil Nadu. So transport cost, allocation, it is also again creating a problem. And day by day, as more and more, okay, transport cost, distribution cost, procurement cost is increasing. Sir, even the government, okay, subsidy bill is also increasing. As the subsidy bill increases, you know that revenue expenditure increases. As the revenue expenditure increases, overall budget deficit increases. Budget deficit increases means fiscal deficit increases. Increase of fiscal deficit will have other impact on the economy. That is also we have to take care with respect to while rating the challenges. Imbalance in the availability of the storage capacity across the state. Yes. Some states like Punjab, Haryana, UP are having huge procurement centers and they have very good godowns. Okay, with respect to what? Storage of the food grains. But southern states and northeastern states and eastern states, even today, they don't have much storage capacity compared to western states. Maximum buffer norms not specified, which means what? Most of this procure after the central agencies will procure the food grains. They also maintain, rather than, don't ever think that they will distribute everything to the people. No, they also maintain the buffer stocks so that the buffer stocks can be utilized for two reasons. Maybe if there is a calamity, national calamity or natural calamity, maybe if there is any threat, war, something. So, or maybe if the price of the commodity is, I can say, extraordinary increase or decrease. So during that time, they can go for what? Releasing the food grains. For that purpose, they maintain the buffer stock. Low utilization of existing capacity in various states, leakage of food grains and issue prices and politics. See, all the three if I combine, so most of the time in most of the states due to politics, so many, state governments, they are unable to delete the BPL card. Even unwanted people are also getting the food grains and they are selling in the open market at higher price, which what they got at subsidized price. And not only that, in some states, even people did not take on the PDS as serious. There are a lot of drawbacks with respect to PDS. Such drawbacks like what? The targeted beneficiaries are not getting the food grains properly. The quantity of the food grains is not proper. Quality of the food grains is not proper. On-time delivery of the food grains is not proper. And the selling of the food grains in the black market by the ration shop people is common in most of the states. Because of that reason, the various state governments, along with the help of central government, they come up with various initiatives like introduction of biometric machines in a ration shop, linking of BPL card with Aadhaar card to identify the fake beneficiary or the ghost beneficiaries. Third, making sure that ration shops will open at a required time and they issue the required quantity of the food grains to each and every beneficiary. Fourth, linking like BPL card with Aadhaar so that, see, if the person is getting food grains, even though he is not a beneficiary because he is having enough income status, but still because of through fake BPL card he is receiving the food grains that has been curtailed with the help of linking BPL card with what? Aadhaar number. Already Aadhaar is linked to what? PAN number, so that we can reduce the fake beneficiary. That is also government has taken. And almost all the, like through a scheme called BAPU scheme, biometric authenticated physical uptake scheme, almost all the like ration shops have got the biometric machines. With the help of that, compulsory the beneficiary has to give the thumb impression to get the food grains. That is also one of the good initiative to reduce the leakages in the PDS. And installing GPS machine or GPS instrument in the trucks which takes the food grains from place to place, so that
So the maybe in a moment, if there is a leakage in a moment, because most of the time at the godown level, maybe the quantity of the food grains will be correct, but once it reaches to the ration shop, the same quantity is not available. That is also government to track down that. They come up with the idea called what, installing the GPS instrument in almost all the trucks which carry the food grains from place to place. See, like this, these are the various steps taken by the government which ensure that the whatever the ultimate objective of achieving the food security through PDS will be achieved, and the food grains should be available, accessible, and affordable to all at all the time. Thank you.